Look what's arrived from Discogs over the past few months. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Great Bollywood Party. We have a great unboxing to do today. It's been my Discogs purchases for the past few months, and while I'd been itching to open them, I said I would love to keep them for a video, which happens right now. So join me as we open up this Discogs haul. As usual, we start with our trusty blade, and let's get into the first package. So this particular one comes from France. The seller on Discogs is called SL-1200 all the way from France, and most of these items were sitting in my market tracker for a while, and when I seen they had been available for a decent price, I definitely took up the opportunity. One thing you can always rely on with the European sellers is that they are quite reserved with their grading, and they ensure that the product that you receive at the end of the day definitely matches the Discogs grading that they have put up. And they are quite fair with prices as well, so no scalping in terms of looking at how many people want the item and then charging a premium based on that. Without any waste of time, let's start digging into the packages. So this one comes all the way from France, SL-1200. Let us open up and see what gems are in store for us today. So this particular one I have been looking for quite a very long time. It's been quite scarce on Discogs, and as a person who enjoys certain classical artists, I'm very much a completist in that sense, and I think this was one of the few of his that I'm actually missing, and that is this beautiful classical classical album by Ustad Munawar Ali Khan, which is called Punjabi Songs, based on Rags Pahadi and Kafi. If you haven't listened to Munawar Ali Khan yet, I highly suggest you do. He's a brilliant artist and the son of Ustad Bari Ghulam Ali Khan. As you can see, this was graded as very good, but in my opinion it's actually near mint. Barring a few marks there and a sticker, I think it's actually quite good, and the soundtrack or the actual music on this is brilliant. I've heard quite a few songs, but my favorite would be Lajo Lajo, based on Rag Bahari. Absolutely divine. You can listen to Munawar Ali Khan and I think he captivates you with his soulful voice. Let's just look at the actual LP. Almost not played. Very decent. As usual, I will be cleaning these with an ultrasonic cleaner before I put them on the turntable. Ustad Munawar Ali Khan. We're gonna go to the second package, and this comes from Clean Clang Records, and I think majority of these were also graded as very good plus, and let's see what we have in store. I know which ones are in here because I messaged the seller online and actually getting a bit of feedback from him, but let's do it one by one. First one, Adha Ram Adha Ravan. Solely for one track I got this, but I'm sure it's going to be quite a lovely soundtrack to listen to. Of course, this film had music by Pankaj Udhas, and the beautiful Chandi Jaisa Rang Hai Tera. That's the one I was waiting for, but I actually got a a nice surprise when I saw the side 1 track 3 Mohi Aaye Na Jag Se Laaj Gungaru Toot Gaye film version of that beautiful Geet and Ghazal Chandi Jaisa Rang Hai Tera. If you see the cover was quite decently created as well, barring a few marks on the label. The actual LP is not scratched or any marks that are concerning. This one's also going to be a great listen. Can't wait to hear this. Next one, Ram Lakhan. So while I did get the original pressing of the reissue of Ram Lakhan, a friend of mine, Rajesh, had mentioned that the sound of this one was also next to none. Also stereo, proper stereo release, and of course Subhash Kai's beautiful movie Ram Lakhan with music by Lakshmikant Pyarelal and Anand Bakshi. What I particularly like of this soundtrack is the percussion on most of the songs, and I'm sure this particular LP will give superb display of what was actually recorded in the studios. I mean, if you take a song like My Name is Lakhan and listen to the percussion, each part of the song is absolutely compelling when you listen to them. Even if you take the song Bekhabar Bewafa, a 10-minute song, but the amount of percussion that Lakshmikant Pyarelal has used in here, it is something else, absolutely good. Can't wait to listen to that one. And this LP was graded as very good plus as well. Let's look at the LP itself, absolutely clean. This one has been in my want list for a very long time, and actually the Discog prices are quite crazy. This one was selling for a decent amount of money, and I picked it up when I saw the opportunity. I think the last one here would be the lovely soundtrack of Asha by Lakshmikant Pyarelal as well. Nice gatefold LP. This one was also marketed as very good plus. Yes, and there we have it. Second parcel from Discogs. This one was graded as very good, but as you can see, it's almost near mint, not played at all. So a big thank you to Kling Klang Records. Obviously will buy again should the opportunity present itself, and thank you for taking good care when you're sending out the parcels. You know, it's nice to see that they arrive in good condition. Now on to the third parcel, and the third parcel we have is from Noma Vinyl UK. This one comes all the way from the United Kingdom, and for the life of me I cannot remember what was in this package, but let's give it a look and let's see what's available, what has come. Most of these were in my want list for a very long time, and what's nice about Discogs is they send out notifications when these LPs become available in the marketplace. And I guess if you're lucky and first to it, especially when the prices are at decent rates, you get first luck of draw and you actually get the chance to purchase them. What do we have here? Let's see. First one, beautiful soundtrack by Ravindra Jain, Sunaina. I think Ravindra Jain had a very good rapport with Rajshri Pictures or Rajshri Productions, and he always produced such melodious tracks, and especially using Hemlata and KJ Yesudas in many of the tracks, as you'll see in this one as well. My first listen to this was the title track by Yesudas and Megha Ore Megha from Hemlata. But all of the tracks are great, and especially having this on a 45 RPM, the sound must be impeccable as well. let's have a look at the actual LP. Brilliant. So as I mentioned, you can see there's no funny grading here, no 80%, 85%, 90%. This one was graded as very good plus, but you can see these records are actually look like they've been played once only and then sold out. So this is another record that I have, the Kohinoor pressing, South African pressing, which I will get to in a future video about South Africa and the record connection. But this is the gatefold Des Pardes, another melodious soundtrack by Rajesh Roshan and lyrics by Amit Khanna. My favorite track being the Kishore Kumar 2P, Oroji and Nazana. Title track Ye Des Pardes and Lata Mangeshkar's Aap Kahe is also quite nice. But on the whole, a very melodious listen. Let's look at the LP itself. Slight scuffs, but I'm sure it's not too bad. This one was marked as very good, and I think it's in much better condition than very good. And the last one we have here was as a I did not have this one, Alag Alag by R.D. Burman and Shakti Samanta. As you can see, this is one of those LPs that look like they have not even been touched. T-Series. T-Series was always hit or miss depending on how the people mastered it at the time. This one was released in 1985, but based on the feedback I've heard on our forums, it looks like this one was quite decently done. Covers in great condition. Actually, this looks mint, not played, you know. I can't wait to put this one in. Very, very beautiful soundtrack. Alag Alag. And that was the one from Noma Vinyl, UK. So along with LPs, there were a few CDs that I was looking for, and they happened to come up, and I was able to purchase them in time because I don't know how, but they were selling at quite decent prices. I know many of these CDs, which are hard to find, actually sell for quite a bit of money on Discogs. I think it's all based on the supply-demand model. So if you have it in your want list, you actually asking the sellers to go a bit higher in the prices. But these ones were selling for quite decent amounts of money, and let's open them one by one. Okay, it's still a bit sealed here. This one is from a seller called Lucas P90, and these are not so easy to find, but some really good pressings here. We have Geet Gaya Patharoni, music by Ramlal and Bunjo Ban Gayi Muti. Lovely CD. Also quite a good one. These are the UK pressings. And then we have a 3-in-1, Apne Paraye, Jyoti and Pyas. While I do have Jyoti on LP, I do not have the other two, so I thought might as well just get the CD. And this is again a made in UK pressing. I think the seller was actually selling these for, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 euros. Happy to have that, especially the music of Jyoti on CD. One of my favorite Papillary soundtracks. That's this one. Then we have a Tahir Hussain movie called Dil Dhoondta Hai. The only reason I picked this one up was because of, I think this was the last collaboration Anu Malik did with Lata Mangeshkar, and the track that he composed was Badal Ko Garajne Do with Udit Narayan. Basically not really listening to the whole soundtrack, but probably will give it a full listen shortly. And a lovely compilation of rare hits by Muhammad Rafi. Can never go wrong with these CDs. Always a beautiful listen. But I mean, if you look at the soundtracks of which movies they come from, I think some of them haven't even been released on LP. Kaun Apna Kaun Paraya, Ye Dil Kisko Do, Nag Mohini, Punar Milan, The Adventures of Robin Hood, Bivi Aur Makan, Nag Mandir, and Vapas I know was released on an EP, but I don't think it was released on an LP. So I think it's actually quite amazing to see these tracks being mastered for CD. Really cool. I'm happy to have these in my collection. Then the last package we have comes also from the Netherlands, and it's by Sunny Bollywood. The seller's name is Sunny Bollywood on Discogs. Sunny Bollywood actually went out of his way to give me a call and show me all the other CDs that he has, and yeah, was able to get a good deal with him with some of the CDs, some of the really rare ones, and very decently priced. But yeah, it took a while to come, but it's based on the South African Post Office. I think tracking the items, they arrived at least within 2 weeks of Sunil posting them. However, the customs process here in South Africa is a bit tedious, and that took around 2 weeks or 3 weeks, even more, longer after that. So while I get this open, let me just tell you a bit more about the interaction with Sunil. Sunil had actually asked me for a want list at some point in time, and I had provided him with it, and he came up with 90% of the CDs that I was looking for. Quite what's the word? Quite a business-minded person who knows exactly what to get for his sellers. If you look at this, it's packaged so good. Let's just get it out of here first. And let's look at what gems await us in here. Sorry, I don't have patience to cut these things. I might as well just pull them out. Okay, so I hope it's not too much of a spoiler, but we'll do them one by one. One of the rarer CDs to find. It's the CD of 100 Days. Lovely music by Ram Lakshman. The melody pressing. Quite cool. Happy to have added this one into the collection. Second one would be Khilaf. Another one by Melody and Tips, which is also quite difficult to find on a good day. Another lovely soundtrack by Lakshmikant Pyarelal. I think each of the songs are quite unique and beautiful in their own way. These Esquire CDs, if you do find them, just get them and keep them, because they're quite rare to find nowadays. This one, Sapno Ka Mandir by Lakshmikant Pyarelal and Vish Kanya by Papi Lahiri. So each of these soundtracks got quite unique items in here. If you actually look at the track listing, you'll see Sapno Ka Mandir has music by Lakshmikant Pyarelal, but I think it was the first time they worked with Runa Leila. Mekali Anarki, quite a nice song to listen to as well. And Vish Kanya had the very melodious Jane Ja Mujhe, which was sung by Pankaj Udas and Pinaz Masani. I think that particular song is worth it for me to get the CD. Absolutely love it. These tracks are quite melodious and they're quite good. The CDs are in decent condition, and I would give them a full listen so that I could gauge the actual quality of these CDs. Sunil did mention he was adding an extra one as a gift for the purchase. I'm not too sure on how I'm gonna react to this one, but no doubt we'll definitely give it a shot. This one looks like it was produced in the Netherlands, and we have a singer called Nadeem and Jar Prince giving us their mix of Indian music. Would love to listen to this and actually see how it is. Look out in the shorts. I probably will give some feedback at some point in time. Next one, a lovely one by Ilayaraja, Sazae Kala Pani. Really good one. This one is also quite difficult to find, and it pops up really on Discogs. I was happy to see this in his possession, and beautiful score by Ilayaraja, and absolutely happy to have this enthralled actually. Next one we have Main Sola Baraski. So I think one of the last few Navketan produced films, Main Sola Baraski. It's actually quite interesting that I found Des Pardes and now Main Sola Baraski, which had music by Rajesh Roshan and lyrics by Amit Khanna. I don't know if you remember, this guy was Jas Arora. I think this was his debut into this. I'm not too sure on how the movie was, but the actual soundtrack was quite cool. One of my favorite tracks was, I think, the Odit Narayan, Halchal Machari Tune Halchal. Really nice one. I was glad to see this there, and it actually wasn't too badly priced, so I took the opportunity on taking it up. This Vishwas Ghat is a really cool soundtrack by Shyam Surinder with lyrics by Rani Malik. This was done in 1995, I think, and majority of the tracks here were sung by Lata Mangeshkar, so immediate purchase for me. I know there was a good discussion with a few friends on the Indian forum on WhatsApp, and this one popped up. A lot of people have the cassettes of this, so when I saw the opportunity to pick this up on CD, I took it with open arms. There we go, Vishwas Ghat. Okay, so this one I think is one of the most elusive T-Series CDs. While I've had many versions of the LP of Jamai Raja, I was actually quite happy to find the CD of it as well. And if you look at it, it's the T-Series first pressing, but I don't think there were pressings of it later on. I think this was the only version of the CD ever released, and after that it was not re-released. So another very fun soundtrack by Lakshmikant Pyarelal and lyrics by Javed Akhtar, and featuring SP Balasubramaniam and S Janaki in very different avatars. I think the song the actual song Tere Pyar Mein Hum Doob Gaye, beautiful one. What's interesting as well is it has additional film hits of songs from Teja, Mahal, Ajuba Kudrat Ka, which I don't think were released on CD from my recollection. I don't think these CDs were ever released. However, there are 2 or 3 tracks from here which appear on this actual CD, so quite cool. Really happy to have this one. This is a fun one. Music by Viju Shah, lyrics by Anand Bakshi, Tere Mere Sapne. Lovely track, Aakh Mare. And you can't go wrong with Viju Shah. I think even though his music was very techno, he had a lot of melody infused into his tracks. So I think each of them were specifically produced with some kind of techno ability to it, techno scape to it, but also some really good sounding melody in his soundtrack. Happy to add this one as well. Vijay Pars. Also, this was the melody one. I know Tips re-released these CDs, however they were produced on CDRs, which degraded the sound quality, so I've been looking for this one quite a while back already. If you do know the soundtrack of Vijay Pars, you'll know it had some beautiful songs. राह में उनसे मुलाकात हो गई, आइए आपका इंतज़ार, सागर संग किनारे है, कल सैया ने ऐसी bowling की, which was more of a fun track. सीने में दिल है, but really something you can listen to over and over and over again. Yeah, there we go. And I think the last CD in here is Gumrah. So this is also another one that's quite elusive, and when it does appear, it's quite highly priced. Sunny or Sunil had it for a very decent amount of cash, and I took up the offer. I love this soundtrack, also quite nice. Nice one, if I could call this a gatefold CD. Actually love how they took so much effort into printing out these CDs when they were released, you know. Interesting one. Yeah, the track Ye Zindagi Ka Safar was a reused tune by Lakshmikant Pyarelal themselves. This one came out in 1993, but in 1985 the soundtrack of Mera Jawab had a track called Mere Liye Zindagi, which is the exact same tune of Ye Zindagi Ka Safar. In that track it had Anuradha Podwal and Manhar Udha singing that song, and in this one we have Talat Aziz and Kavita Krishnamurti. But I think in both avatars the song did quite well. Very beautiful tune, and I'm happy to actually hear this song in both versions. I have Mera Jawab on LP as well, and when I do actually put that one on, that's the first track I go to. It's also got a beautiful sad version on there, which I particularly enjoy listening to as well. Nice other hits of Lakshmikant Pyarelal. I think most of the big movies, Hero, Bobby, Prem Rog, Sargam Hum, and yeah, done quite well. What's actually quite nice is this is the complete soundtrack of Gumrah. I know EMI always released sometimes half-baked goods, like the first release of Hum Aapke Hai Kaun didn't have the full soundtrack, then they re-released it with the actual full soundtrack. They did that also with Roop Kirani, Choro Ka Raja. They minused 2 tracks on the first CD release. The second CD release had all the songs. I don't know what kind of marketing stunt that was, but glad to see they didn't try some funny business with this one. And that's it for this one. If you actually want to hear me review any of these purchases, please hit me up in the comment section and let me know. What would you like to hear? Which soundtracks do I fast track for you to listen to in the first instance? And I'll probably post them as YouTube shorts. So please hit the like button, share and subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell, because that's the only way you're going to see when I upload new videos. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you all.